Hey, we appreciate everybody for joining us here today. Welcome so much. Welcome to the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's Office Family Chats. Thank you so much for being here today, everyone. My name is Faustino Aguilar. I'm an academic advisor in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's Office. We want to welcome everybody for joining us here today. We want to welcome all the new incoming students. We are so glad that everybody is here with us today. We have some great information for you with a lot of great representatives and people that are going to be talking about their resources because we want to try to get these students involved on campus. We want to make sure that they know how to navigate the campus and everything properly. So we got some great people here that are going to help you out with some of those steps. So before we get started, we do want to give everybody, a few more minutes to find the Zoom link to jump into the webinar. So maybe we'll get this started in like a minute or two, if that's all right with everyone. So for those of you that need to take care of those last minute things, go ahead and do so right now, because once this presentation, this webinar gets going, again, we're going to have that good information flowing. So, you want to stay with us while you can. While we're waiting for those, people to come in here for the extra minute or two, I want to direct everybody's attention down at the bottom of your screen. You're going to see a Q&A function. Go ahead and find that, everyone. So the reason I want everybody to locate their Q&A function is because throughout this presentation, we're going to be going over a ton of information here. And some of you may have additional questions about the resource, or maybe you had something that you want to clarify. Please let us know on the Q&A function, and an advisor will go ahead and review your question and answer your question on the Q&A. The reason we don't want to do this on the chat, because I can see some of you putting that information on the chat. Let's see. The reason we don't want to do this on the chat is because the chat, you can see everybody's question, but we can't specifically answer your question on the chat. On the Q&A function, you ask your question and we're able to answer specifically directly to your question. So locate the Q&A. For some of you, if you take a look at like the more button or the options button down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see like the little Q&A pop up in there. So see if you guys can find that, and let's see if you guys found the Q&A. First exercise, how about you guys let us know where you are viewing this webinar from? Are we viewing this webinar from Sacramento? How many of us are from like the Bay Area? I wonder if we have anybody from like out of state. Okay, so it looks like people are putting some of that information on the chat. Can we find the Q&A, everyone? Do we have the Q? Oh, yep, we have somebody in the Q&A. Somebody said from Antarctica. I don't know, man.
What
Do we
up,
have
Bill?
right? We got people from Antarctica in here. If that's true, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if you guys are just pulling our leg right now. Okay, see, Bill's just kidding with us. All right, but we got some people from like Thailand here. We got Nashville in the building, Monterey, Long Beach. I used to live in Long Beach myself. Welcome to Davis, Orange County, San Jose. Okay, so we got some people that found the Q&A. So
Wow.
hopefully we were able to find the Q&A button, but it's around 4:04, 4:05. So how about we just get going now?
All
Who else
right.
want to take it away?
Yeah, that'll be me. Hi everyone. My name is Vanessa Talavera. I am the outreach coordinator for the College of Ag. So wanted to give a big welcome. This is kind of like your first little mini orientation, I guess, but virtually. But we are so excited to have you here today. And we're gonna get started and would love to learn what you are most excited for as you begin your undergraduate experience at UC Davis. So put in the chat, what are you looking forward to when you come here? Is it the cows? Are you looking forward to making new friends? Figuring out how big your dorm room is?
Oh, that's going to be
Let me know in the chat.
exciting. Oh, a lot of stuff available to you here at
Turkeys.
UC Davis. What did they say?
We got wild turkeys on campus
We do
that
have
we
wild
do.
turkeys. We do. We have a lot of animals on campus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Farmers market.
people are looking forward to the boba and the apartment.
Cheeto.
Good.
Oh, you know Cheeto. Yay.
Oh my gosh, somebody put Cheeto on the chat. Okay, picnic day, dinner. Nice.
Cool. Anything else? I think some people are still using the Q&A. Glad you're finding it. The ducks, yes. Oh, no, they're really coming in. Yeah, eggheads. Well, cool. Yeah, keep putting it in the chat. If y'all want to chat to each other, that's totally fine too. So really, just as we begin this new journey, we know the transition to UC Davis is filled with both excitement and uncertainty. So as you navigate these feelings and plan for your new beginning at UC Davis, we just want you to know that you are not alone. You have the whole undergraduate academic program staff, which is me, Faustino, and some other folks that are here, who are here to support you in achieving your educational goals. So we're committed into collaboration, inclusion, and see advising as an important piece of your UC Davis networks of support. So some of you may be attending this webinar with your chosen family who are navigating this journey with you. And today we are going to introduce some campus resources that will be available both on campus and virtually this coming fall. So though we will not be discussing like financial aid, housing, or any fall campus teaching plans, we can direct you to those resources who will give you those answers to those questions. And so today we hope to offer some resources you use to grow your network of support at UC Davis and to provide you with some certainty as you begin envisioning yourself when you come in the fall. So yeah, next I'll jump it over to Faustino.
Thanks, Vanessa. So, Family Chats, everyone. Family Chats was created with all of you in mind, right? It's not, this information is not just for the student, it's for everybody who's present on this webinar. It's for the parents, it's for the guardians, it's for the siblings, the people around the student circle. And we want to make sure that all of you who are here and joining the student and are encouraging the student to go on to the university, we want to let all of you know and reassure you that there are people on campus that want this student, your students, to be successful. We are going to help them navigate through the university. We're going to provide them information about how they could incorporate themselves and get involved around the university, but more specifically around the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. One thing that I do want to let all students, all parents, everybody in here know, once the student arrives here at UC Davis, they're going to have two main advisors that they're going to work with. One of their advisors is going to be their major advisor. The major advisor answers the more major specific, major related types of questions. The student is also going to be working with their dean's office advisors. My name is Faustino Aguilar, who didn't get the opportunity to hear that at the beginning. I'm one of the advisors here in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences Dean's Office. What we do for students at the Dean's Office is we help them basically with whatever questions they have. We mostly focus on degree requirements and helping students understand the university policies. There's a lot that goes on at the university. How many units to take? What are the deadlines? How do I get this petition, this appeal approved? Things like that. The advisors at the dean's office can help those students navigate through those process. We help the students out with other things too as well, things like general education requirements and a variety of different things. That's why I like to call our office more of a one-stop shop here on campus, especially for the College of Ag students. It's because students can come into our office, let us know exactly what they need help with, and we will do our absolute best to help those students through those questions and to get the answers that they're looking for. The very least that we will do for the students is provide them with the exact person or the exact resource where they could find that information or get an answer to the question that they're asking. That's the very least that we can do for students. So please, students, whenever you get here to the university, stop by the dean's office. We're happy to see you. If you have any questions about your degree requirements, anything like that, we are happy to help you out with those things. So going back and talking about like the resources and the people that want to help you out. Well, guess what, everyone? Here in the Family Chats webinar, we have a bunch of great people, representatives from the university, from our major departments, from our community partners or campus partners, and some of our students, like our peers and our student helpers, those that are involved in some of our clubs that we have here in the College of Ag. We have some of those representatives here to talk with our students and let them know about this information going on. All of these people are here to help the students out, and we're all happy to meet with the students. So we're going to go ahead and get our panelists coming up in just a second. Today, our first panelist, we're going to have Elliot Johnson. He works in the Internship and Career Center. We're going to have Elizabeth Price. She is the major advisor in viticulture and enology. And we also have Jade and we have Eric with us today who are Aggie Ambassadors. Aggie Ambassadors is a club that we have here in the College of Ag. So we have a bunch of great representatives here that are going to tell you about these resources. Let's go ahead and get started with our first panelist here. Elliot Johnson, are you here with us? There he is.
Yeah, I sure am. You can hear me
All
okay, yeah?
We can hear you. So I'm going to go ahead and give it back to Elliot Johnson. Please remember, everyone, that if you have any questions, put those on the Q&A, and then we'll get an opportunity to answer those questions after Elliot is done presenting. Thanks.
All right, welcome everybody. We really like to look at kind of that full circle thing here at Davis. So I'm going to talk about getting started with a really awesome program and then moving all the way to the end where you're thinking, okay, what job am I going to do after graduation? Quick bit about the Internship and Career Center. We are here to support career exploration, help you clarify some of those goals you might have after graduation, looking through that career planning process. It's not always as straightforward as you might think. And so we're here to answer questions, to even just kind of brainstorm. In a lot of cases, students are looking to consider what the possibilities are. And then really at the end, we're hoping to provide you with the tools, services, opportunities to move on to those next steps, to teach you how to fish, so to speak. You know, we'll give you some fish, but we'll also teach you how to fish. Got some quick tips here for getting started. It's really important to stay connected. We've got a weekly Career Center newsletter just for the College of Agricultural and Environmental Science. These links here, I'm going to share this all afterwards, so you can click on some of those. Another thing to get set up is Handshake. You can update a profile where you put information about yourself and you start to look up what kind of job you might want to do on campus or somewhere else as well. And then finally, we want you to check out our services. We've got everything from in-person appointments, virtual appointments, drop-ins, resume review over the web, workshops, career fairs. We've got videos for those who want to kind of start off with something that's a little bit more simple, take some of those first steps. And you can find this all on our website. A really cool thing that the Career Center and the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences does together, this is this thing that I'm talking about, a good way to start off your career here, is the Career Discovery Groups. So this is a partnership between the College of Ag Environmental Science and the Internship and Career Center. It is open to all of you, first-year students, transfer students. It's there for all of you, and it's a class that you can sign up for. There is a year-long program for first-year students, and then we do a one-quarter program for transfer students. This is to really speed things up, get you going, get you all the info you need right away. What we do is give you a bit of an introduction to Davis, start talking about career planning in little bits and pieces. And it's led by a trained graduate student who serves as a mentor for that whole year, and really on beyond that as well. First year program in the fall quarter coming up, right? Intro to some of the UC Davis resources, small class, about 25 students. You get to meet some of your peers there. You get to learn about each other and yourselves. Winter quarter, we start getting into putting your resume together, cover letters, researching some of the jobs that you think you might want to have afterwards. In the spring quarter, this is my personal favorite. We cover different site visits where you get to go and check out things like, let's see, last year we went to the Oakland Zoo to look about what it would be like to be a veterinarian at a zoo. We went to the Bodega Marine Science Center and looked at atmospheric science and wildlife science that had to do with the ocean, all sorts of really cool things. For the transfer program, like I said, we want to really kind of compress it into a smaller package here so that you can get going as soon as possible. We focus on getting you the info that you need to start applying for internships and jobs and to really hit the ground running. And of course, in both cases, we have all year access to career advising. I think, because we've got a Q&A afterwards, I'll sort of leave that for later, but I do have a link down over here. I'll share that in the chat in just a sec, where you can read a little bit more about the program and even see what it takes to sign up for it. But without further ado, I think I'll leave it for Liz.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liz. I'm the viticulture and enology major advisor. So basically, I'm tied to the Department of Viticulture and Enology. So one of my main tasks is I really help students work through their major requirements. And I also have a presentation to share. So I'm going to put that up on the screen. Here we go. So it can be kind of confusing for incoming students, especially like during their first year, to kind of figure out where to go. So this is actually a slide that I have from a previous college webinar that I also participated in, but it kind of breaks it down to major advisors, undergraduate academic programs like the College of Ag, Dean's Office advisors such as Faustino. There's peer advisors. We have peer advisors in both our departments and in the college. So peer advisors are really great because those are college students that are very familiar with the academic journey that many of you are about to embark on. And so they can really understand, oh, did I miss that? Oh, I went back too far. Oh no, wait, wait, let me start my thing again. I'm like going back, I'm going ahead of myself. Okay, here we are. Okay, so yeah, peer advisors are really great because they're existing college students. They've usually taken a lot of the classes that you're about to be taking. They have familiarity with which one instructors are, you know, who expects what. And then also in the department, we have faculty advisors. So faculty advisors are really great because they are faculty within the major that have a lot of knowledge about just different aspects about what they're teaching. Most of the advisors that are working, we have a background in education. Like I didn't make wine before I started working for viticulture and enology, unfortunately, but my background's in education. So when students are asking me about, you know, issues that are happening specifically with their major courses, I'm always able to direct them to the faculty advisor who has, you know, a terminal degree in that area. And so it's really helpful. And so this slide, I think, is really good at kind of like showing kind of like how we all work together to support you, our incoming students, and make sure that you're, you know, academically feeling like you're supported. You're taking advantage of different opportunities such as internship, undergraduate research, just making sure that you're connecting with faculty and that you're going to office hours. I know it can be a little intimidating, but faculty, they're just like us. And so one of my things that I'm really lucky because I work in the department is that I spend a lot of time with like my students. My office is directly in the building that the students are actually, who are in my major, are actually studying. So they don't have to go very far to find me. And I'm kind of like one of those resources that I work in tandem with the undergraduate academic programs office. I make sure that, if they have questions that I can't answer, that they actually get directed to the right resource. Same thing with financial aid, same thing with student counseling, same thing with disability services. All of these things that we have at UC Davis to support our students, it can be really hard for them to figure out how to navigate and how to get to, a certain person, or to figure out like where to go. And so for me as a major advisor, that's really one of my most important tasks. Is I partner with all these people on campus. I'm able to help my students navigate, and within the 2 or 4 years that they're with us at UC Davis, I make sure that they can get from point A to point B, which is graduation, right? So academics, as far as a major advisor, I kind of went over this a little bit, but we do use an online checklist. I noticed there was a Q&A in there about like if there's an online checklist that students can use. And yes, we do. We have an online checklist that we can use that pretty much I can speak for all major advisors that we use, that we work with our students. Our students have access to that checklist. They're able to go through it on their own. I personally walk students through that checklist during our meetings. So right now, as an incoming student, you probably don't have a lot of those major courses like crossed off, but sometimes if you have AP units, or if you have IB units, or if you have community college, like a lot of our students will also have had like high school classes dual enrolled with community college classes. So that's something that we like look at together. Most of you probably already registered for your classes, I'm hoping, because it was past one just recently. So I hope most of you were able to meet with your advisors and like figure out which classes you could skip. But we do have a lot of resources that students can use on their own, that advisors also use. A lot of times I am the first point of contact when like a student of mine is having a hard time in their class. They're always welcome to email me, and like, I get a lot of emails that are like, I did really bad on my midterm. What can I do? I'm having problems with chemistry. What are the tutoring resources? Like, where can I go? And that's where, I'll point students to, we have co-classes here on campus for math, chemistry, physics, maybe not for physics, but we also have tutoring for physics. And so I'm always trying to point students to the correct resources so that they can get the support that they need. I also connect students with departmental faculty. So again, I know sometimes the sound of faculty can be really intimidating, but like once you break down that barrier as a student and you create that relationship, you can have a really good resource for however long you're at UC Davis and beyond. Like, just because you graduate doesn't mean you can't email a professor or an advisor. I hear from students that have graduated, and like it's always fun to kind of see where they're doing and like what they need help with. I also connect students with undergraduate research opportunities specifically that are tied to the major. And that's something that's really big. And then another conversation that I have with students is graduate school. Like, what are you going to do after you graduate? Whether it's a career, or do you want to pursue like a degree after this? So that's also something that I discuss with students as we move through this like program together. It's really a journey that we embark on together. It's a partnership. For viticulture and enology, I'm sorry, I have to talk about like one of the coolest majors on campus because I'm the viticulture and enology advisor. So a lot of my students, they do internships. The Internship and Career Center is a really great resource for students. We in V&E, we have this beautiful LEED Platinum certified research and teaching winery where students actually take their labs, but we also hire students to work on campus and do internships on campus. Depending on your major, you might actually be able to intern like on campus. I know a lot of students will intern at the student farm, or they have different resources depending on their major. But VNE, we have a winery and a vineyard that we offer internships for. My students also will intern in the industry. So they will intern in Napa or Sonoma in the Central Valley. And so that's always something that we discuss. And if they need to take a quarter off for an internship, that's something that I discuss with the student, and we kind of like come up with an academic plan that would enable them to participate in that. Another thing that VNE does, which I didn't do a slide, is I mean, this is for all students too, but like study abroad. So that's really popular too. So that's something that I talk about with students frequently. Like we have an introduction to winemaking classes to study abroad, but there's like chemistry, there's microbiology, there's arts and humanities classes. So there's lots of study abroad opportunities for students too. So that's something that we discuss, and like I try to point them towards or to consider, especially as an undergrad, because you're only an undergrad once. And like, I think it's a really great opportunity that you can really take advantage of while you're at Davis. And then student involvement too. So we have, specifically for our major, we actually have a student group called DEVO, the Davis Enology and Viticulture Organization. There are so many student clubs on campus. So a lot of my students participate in DEVO, but they're also like snow club. They do water skiing. They are in sororities or fraternities. There's an astronomy club where the students meet on top of the physics building for Star Talks. There's just so many things to take advantage here at UC Davis. And so I always really encourage my students, and actually DEVO is open to any student on campus, but I encourage my students to get involved with clubs really early, because that's how they find our people and that's how they find their community. And the sooner you do that, the sooner you can feel more comfortable. So these are some of the things that like my students do. Like they have a huge fundraiser. They go to, we go on immersion trips where they go to different like vineyards across California and even internationally. So there's just like lots of different things that as a major advisor, I am very knowledgeable in, just based on being embedded within my department, that I help students really consider all of the opportunities that they have, even beyond academics, right? So that's kind of my little spiel. But if you have like other questions about, I don't know, just how departmental advisors interact with college advisors and peer advisors, put in the Q&A, and I'll be here at the end to help answer those. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, Liz. A lot of great information being thrown out there. And we have some great questions coming in on the Q&A. So keep asking those questions. We are here to answer those. And again, we're going to have an opportunity to answer a lot of these questions live in the second half of the hour. But for right now, look at these guys right here. We have our Aggie ambassadors that are ready to present on this program. So y'all too, take it away.
Alrighty, I'll start us off. Hi, my name is Jade. Yeah, I'll have Eric introduce it.
Okay, my name is Eric. I'm an incoming third year in the agriculture and environmental education major.
Perfect. And a little bit about me. I'm an incoming second year, which is crazy to say. I was just in your shoes not too long ago. So great job, guys. You're almost there. I know it can be really scary, but y'all are doing great. I am a global disease biology major within the College of Ag. And yeah, so I'm going to put up my presentation right now. Give me 2 seconds. Alrighty. Here we go. Almost there. Present on this device. Wrong slide. Great job, Jade. Killing it. 2 seconds. Alrighty. Turn on this side and then present. Yay! We did it. So Eric and I are part of a club kind of volunteer kind of club thing here on campus called Aggie Ambassadors. And so that is kind of our, we help out with a lot of events involved with the College of Ag, and it's a really great time. Let me go to my next slide. So these are our 3 pillars, which are kind of like our 3 main things that we strive to do as a part of Aggie Ambassadors. So number 1 is leadership. So if you guys are looking to get any sort of leadership opportunities and positions, there's lots of openings available for that. You can actually join the officer team, or you can lead different talks, you can lead different college fairs. We'll talk a little bit more about the different types of events we do there, but it's a really great place to develop those leadership skills or grow them even more. We also are a part of outreach. So Eric, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so outreach is personally one of my favorite parts of being an Aggie Ambassadors. As Jade mentioned, we go to a lot of different events, and at those events, we kind of represent not only the school of UC Davis, but specifically the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. We'll go to big events like, if anybody has heard or have been to the World Ag Expo in Tulare, we'll go to that. We'll get a lot of people coming in, a lot of students in high school that are interested. We'll answer any questions that they have, being a current student or how it was to get to where we are. We'll also go to events like State FFA Conference, and we also welcome in high schools and different kind of event groups and give them little tours about either the student farm, or we'll do little events about UC Davis here as well.
That's also one of my favorite parts. The picture I have on the side there, that was actually taken at the World Ag Expo. I was like, what a cute setup. So that's where that's from. But outreach is just really, really important. It's also one of my favorite parts. You get to talk with so many different types of people. I get to talk to adults. I get to talk to prospective students. I get to, interact with anyone and everybody. And that's just a really great opportunity that's offered through the College of Ag. So I'm really grateful for them for that. And then our last kind of pillar, or our main kind of goal of this program, is community. And that one's a big one for me, especially being last year, being a first year coming in. Obviously, you're probably feeling this too. I don't know anyone. It's such a big school. I mean, we have over 38,000 people. It can get, pretty big, but this has really become like a second family to me. I am able to talk with everybody, and just we have social events, and also just kind of creating our bigger Davis community. That's a really big part as well for me. Just kind of creating that sense of UC Davis pride and everything. It's one of my favorite parts about being an Aggie Ambassador. Do you have anything to add about that, Eric, before we scoot on over?
I also, I agree a lot with what you said, and I also feel those kind of same ways. I wanted to add that being an Aggie Ambassador is a very unique opportunity, not limited, but specifically in the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences that isn't really in any of the other colleges. It's a unique opportunity. I really recommend it. We have a great community. If you're looking to join, I don't know, do you have that a little bit more on later on?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit later on. Yeah, of course. So next slide is events. So I'll talk about a couple events that were my favorite, and then Eric will jump in and maybe say some of his events that were his favorite. So right there on, at least my left, might be your left, whatever, the sheep picture, those are our sheep mowers. So that is a part of the College of Ag. And basically what we do is we have sheep come on over and mow our lawn, which is pretty fun, really, really fun sight to see. And then we also have which we also work at. So we help kind of staff the table, tell them information about the sheep mowers. That's a really great time. And also, as a part of Aggie Ambassadors, we also have field trips. So we've done a couple field trips, and the picture right next to it of the goat, we actually went to the goat creamery and goat facility as a part of the UC Davis campus. And that was a super fun time. We got to see where they're milked, how many they have, how they're taken care of, and all the programs that they're doing with them. Apparently we're starting goat cheese making. I mean, who knew? So that's also a great way to get exposed to different kind of things going on around campus. We also have been to the honeybee farm. Yeah, lots of fun places and everything like that. So that's also another kind of incentive to go, as you get to go off campus or explore new different parts of campus. I really get a lot out of that. Oh, no one saw that. Oh, okay. Well, I'll start over. Eric, you can keep talking. Let me fix it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and talk about some of my favorite events. I mentioned a little bit earlier about the World Dog Expo and State FFA. In high school, I was very involved in the FFA. I did a lot of different events there. If you're not sure what the FFA is, it's basically a club that a lot of high schools in California, it's a very big club that focuses on agriculture and agriculture literacy, that kind of big area. I was really involved in that. I did a lot in that. And going into college, I wasn't really sure like exactly what that was going to turn into. That's kind of led me here to Aggie Ambassadors. And I would say if you really enjoyed being an FFA, definitely give Aggie Ambassadors a try. Some of my favorite events are the State FFA Leadership. We go for all 3 days and we table there, and we answer questions that students have, as I said. Some of my other favorite events are the field trips that you mentioned earlier. I wasn't able to go to the goat one or the bee one, but in I believe spring quarter last year, we went to the UC Davis Primate Center, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I also didn't even know it was a thing here. We go to a lot of different places on campus that I don't really know about.
So if you guys are looking, to explore, learn about a little bit, even more about campus, I mean, I've been there for a year. Eric's been there for over 2 years now. And, I'm still learning new things about campus and UC Davis every day. And this is just a great way to kind of facilitate that. So definitely recommend. Also, some of my favorite events include college fairs. So we travel to local high schools and do tabling events there. And we get to talk with prospective high schoolers about, the college, UC Davis in general. And it's just a really great time just to kind of, spread our knowledge and, get the word out there about the College of Ag and all the great, programs and majors we have to offer. So really, really great. Also, looks good on a resume, guys. You're, developing those public speaking skills. You're getting yourself out there, you're learning, you get lots from it. And then kind of the last part is community. Eric, do you want to talk about some of that?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things to talk about community is our meetings. So technically, our club is more of an organization. It's kind of weird in the classification. We have meetings that are done. I believe there's 2 classes. There's 2 different meeting times. There's one on Tuesday and Wednesday for fall quarter. But they're technically classes because they give you units, but we call them meetings, but we combine the word to cleating. It's kind of a little fun way that our that who is kind of the one that runs it, she loves making that kind of those words kind of up. So we have a lot of fun in those type of cleatings, and I think that it's one of the best ways to get to know other people in the College of Ag, and get to know people that are also in your major, because there's a lot of people from a lot of different majors in our organization here.
Exactly. I get to learn so much. A lot of people are in the animal science or animal biology majors, and they get to tell me all about their labs, like looking at sheep, all that fun stuff. I get to hear a little bit about that, and I get to tell them about my stuff. And it's just kind of a great way. Also, since, we're all in the College of Ag, we kind of have similar requirements. So we're able to, to talk to each other like, hey, who do you recommend I take for this? And everything like that. So it's really, really nice. We have people, from first years all the way, to seniors, even beyond that. So it's a really great place to get, advice if you need it as well. I've gotten a couple class recommendations, and I've gotten to hang out with some really cool people. So if you are looking for a piece of community, I definitely recommend joining Aggie Ambassadors. It is just like a home away from home. Yeah, and it's really, really great. So yeah, it's a little bit about community, and thank you guys for listening to our presentation. Let us know if you guys have any, Q&A questions in the chat. From a student perspective, we can help you out with any of that. Also on my side of things, I'm also a campus tour guide. So if you guys have any questions about, campus or anything I can guys kind of help you out with. Also, and if you have any housing questions, I'm also going to be a room advisor. So who knows? I might be seeing some of you pretty soon. So yeah, let me know. And thank you so much for listening, and put those questions in the chat. Thank you.
I'll add one more thing real quick. If you're interested in actually joining Aggie Ambassadors, you can go ahead and follow us on Instagram. It's UCD Aggie Ambassadors. There you'll see a post that says Fall 2024 CRNs. which will give you course registration numbers, which you can add to your schedule for the different meeting times.
Awesome,
See that.
perfect.
Go sign up.
Yeah, you guys
We
are
hope to see
telling
you.
them all of this great information. Please let them know how to sign up for this class. As you can see, you can be just like Jade, just like Eric, and be involved in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences. We work with them directly, and they do a lot of great work around campus, being our ambassadors and our representatives. Um, you guys heard all our representatives today. We have about 15 to 20 minutes, and I do want to open up the floor for any questions that are coming in through the Q&A. This is an opportunity for advisors to answer questions live. So based on the questions that are coming in through the Q&A, we're going to have some people answer those questions live. So if the majority comes in about, if we have some questions about career discovery groups, I'll go ahead and pass it on to Elliot, Aggie ambassadors, Jade or Eric, and major advising questions. We got Liz here. So please, whatever's coming up, please let us know. We're happy to help you out. To start things off, I did have a question coming in through the Q&A about registration. We have some students that may be having issues with registration. And let me guess, when you were working through the schedule builder, you're trying to register for classes, some people brought up that there were classes that had seats available or that had reserved seats, but students were not able to enroll into those classes. Okay, the reason I wanted to answer this question live is because it's not you, it's not your system, it's not Schedule Builder, it's a UC Davis policy that they're kind of working on at this very moment. It's called reserve seating. And basically, the way reserve seating works is that, let's say a class has 20 seats. Well, there are 4 colleges at the university, and the university will give 5 seats of that class to the College of Ag, 5 seats of that class to the College of Letters and Sciences, 5 seats to the College of Engineering, and 5 seats to the Biological Sciences. So if seats show that they're open or that they're reserved seating or a situation going on like that, you can try to enroll into those classes. If the system lets you in, awesome, perfect, stay in that class. But if it doesn't let you in, that basically means that yes, there are seats available, but maybe all the seats that were for the students in the College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, those seats got taken up. And so that last remaining seat, the 2 seats available, they could belong to the College of Biological Sciences or the College of Engineering. So you're going to see some classes like chemistry. I know chemistry is a big one that students are having an issue with. You may see that. What we're recommending students to do is look for alternative course options. Feel free to, instead of taking a major class, maybe take a class towards your GEs, because guess what? You're not going to graduate if you only complete your major requirements. You also need to complete your GE requirements too as well. So it is perfectly fine for you to take a GE class during your first quarter instead of maybe chemistry. The biggest thing is that we want to encourage you to enroll into at least 12 units here at the university. 12 units, that's full-time status. That means that you'll be eligible for residency. If you're living in the housing, you'll be eligible for financial aid if you're an international student, for your visas and things like that. So a lot of benefits to being enrolled in 12 units, plus the university has another policy where you kind of have to earn 12 units per quarter. They call this policy minimum progress, and we'll be happy to describe this policy to the students once they arrive here at the university. But the easiest thing possible, just make sure you enroll and earn 12 units per quarter. So that was kind of a long question to that answer, but hopefully we were able to get some of those questions answered. For the students that are having issues, Liz, can you tell us like if the students are having issues with like enrolling for classes, they're reading their proposed schedules on Canvas or whatever,
Mhm.
but one of the
Yeah.
classes is not available, what would a major advisor recommend for the student to do?
Yeah, definitely. So my major, I have students that are chemistry is a big pain point, right? Like there's a lot of chemistry classes that are offered, but sometimes you just don't get that one spot that's left on Schedule Builder. So my advice is if a student was recommended or suggested to take a class for their major, is to always reach out to their major advisor. So for me, for my students, like if they can't get into Chem 2A their first quarter, we talk about that. We look at the academic plan, we schedule Chem 2A for winter quarter, we will kind of like adjust and move classes. I will make alternate suggestions for students. I can't answer like if you're 1 or 2 on the wait list, if you're going to get into that class, because that really depends like on a lot of different factors. But I think it is worth students to add themselves to the wait list if they can. It's always better to be in the top 5 than the 15th student on the wait list. Sometimes some departments will actually open up another section for a class. So I know for preparatory chemistry, like Chem 1 and Chem 1B, there were some, like, it was hard for some students to register for those classes. So sometimes, like, the departments, like chemistry and math, will actually see that and they'll open up more sections. But I think, they need to actually see the need. So that is a good way to show different departments that there is a need for more sections in that class. So adding to a wait list is a good for many, many reasons. But sorry, I'm getting over a cold. But like I would recommend for a student to add to the wait list for the class that they wanted, and then to email or make an appointment sorry, with their advisor. Anyway, I'm just like coughing over here, but yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Hey, appreciate it, Liz. That's why we have you here, because you're the expert on this field. Hopefully, we're working through that cold. But yes, those questions, because more questions are popping in on the Q&A about specifically what Liz just answered. If students are having issues with the classes that they found on their proposed schedule, those classes are full. There are alternative options that the student can take. We can look into GE classes that the student can take. Think about the majors in the College of Ag. We have managerial economics, nutrition, viticulture and enology. We have animal science, biotechnology. All of these majors, as you can hear, sound very sciencey, right? Well, take a look at the GE requirements that you have. You have GE requirements such as like arts and humanities and social sciences. Most likely because there are opportunities where you can use a major class to double count with a GE requirement, but for a lot of these majors, it's a lot of science classes. You're not going to be taking a lot of artsy, humanities types of classes in there, a lot of social science classes, unless you're majoring in like human development or something like that. You're not going to see a lot of majors that require anthropology, sociology, those kind of things. Those are great options to fulfill your GE social science area too as well. So I would recommend for students that are having issues with like a chemistry or a math, those reserve seating classes, if you can find a GE arts and humanities or a GE social sciences, that is a great alternative option, especially for your first quarter here at the university. Also, big heads up, you notice the numbers on the classes. Only look to enroll for classes, especially if it's only going towards your GEs, look for classes that are numbered 0 through 99 or 1 to 99. Anything that is numbered 100 or above, those are what we call upper division classes. Those typically require to have a little more insight in that subject. They might require prerequisites to get into these classes. So a lot of students are not recommended to take these classes. Usually like higher level sophomores, juniors are eligible to take these classes. So for you first year students, look for courses that are number 1 through 99. That way, that information, the subject material, it's a little more fundamental. It's a little easier to grasp instead of jumping into a 100 level, who knows, animal science or psychology class or whatever. Those could be really intense. So ease into it. Courses numbered 1 to 99. All right, let's see any other Q&A coming in right here. I see a question. If 12 units aren't available, do we wait until next year to go to school? No, you don't have to wait. You're just going to delay your graduation just because you're not getting, because a lot of first year students have an issue with their first quarter registration. You will not get the perfect schedule during your first quarter. It happens once you're at the university. The more units that you have under your belt, the earlier that you get to register for classes. That means by the time you're a junior, by the time you're a senior, you're picking out all the classes, the exact classes that you want, that you need to make your class schedules. During your first year, you're going to get more into the fundamental types of classes. You're going to be taking GE classes. So the classes that you really want, yes, you may not be able to get into those, but you will notice that there are tons of options that fulfill the arts and humanities requirement, tons of options that fulfill the social sciences, tons of options that go towards your major requirements. So if the primary option is not available, you do not have to defer to next year. You can just enroll into classes that would fulfill other requirements, other major requirements, maybe your GE requirements, but there will be options available to you. Let's see what other questions are coming in, because I feel like a lot of questions are about registration. If a student is enrolled in 12 units but has to drop a class at any time, they will fall below the 12 unit credit minimum. Yes. We have a question coming in about that minimum progress 12 unit average. If a student is enrolled in 12 units, but let's say fails a class or has to drop a class and only earned 9 units that quarter, technically that student will be on academic probation after that quarter because they only earn 9 out of 12 units. And if that's the case, then we will work with the students to get them caught back up to minimum progress by maybe taking a little bit more next quarter, maybe 13 units, 14 units. Students have about 4 quarters to really catch up to the average, the 12 unit average. So every single quarter, we advise students, or we email students that are on probation so that they can come in and speak with an advisor so that we can explain the situation to them so that we can get them back on track. So one of the most important things for first year students, I have to let y'all know, look at your emails, because anything, any information, any notification is going to be sent to you by email. So in this case where the student is, or somebody's asking if they drop below 12 units, yes, they might fall under probation, but we do have plans and ways to get students back on track. Y'all, this went by so fast. It's already 5 o'clock and we have a bunch of questions coming in through the Q&A. I'm only going to be able to answer a few questions. Jade, did you have a question that you wanted to answer?
Yes. Somebody in the chat said, what's one thing you weren't expecting from your first year, and any kind of like freshman advice? Definitely, this is gonna sound kind of corny, but honestly, for me, it was the homesickness. I know that sounds crazy. Like, guys, if you're like, when you go to college, you're like, I'm an adult, guys. Like, look at me go. And then after about like 2 weeks, I'm gonna say, it hits you, and you're like, gosh, I really miss home. And that was kind of a rough transition. Especially since, I am farther away. I live in LA, and, Davis, that's about 6 hours difference. So it's not like I could, plot back home, readily. So just kind of be mentally prepared for that. Like your first like weeks of college is gonna be great. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm adulting, guys. Yes. But it happens to everyone. It's okay. Don't feel too sad, but I'm just letting you guys know what happens. You don't think it's going to happen to you, because I didn't think it was going to happen to me, but I was really missing my family. So just something to keep in mind. Make sure you stay in touch with them. Make sure you call, text, and everything. It's important to keep up those, those relationships, especially as you go to college. But yeah, that's kind of my thing. I don't know if Eric wants to jump in or has anything.
Yeah, I replied to that question a little earlier. So my major is I said it earlier. It's agriculture and environmental education. And I believe I said that. Oh, okay, I remember now. I found it really surprising when you're here on campus. It's pretty easy to actually meet with an advisor. At least for me in the animal science department. I originally was an animal science major, but decided that I wanted to switch in my winter quarter of my first year. And I kind of just went online, found how to make an appointment with an advisor, made that appointment, and from there it was very smooth transition, and they helped me out a lot and supported me throughout the way.
Oh, you guys are awesome, man. See, these are students here at the university. They needed assistance. They come to academic advising. A lot of the students think that once they arrive here at UC Davis, you're in it alone. You're not. Okay. Liz is here. I'm here. You have Aggie ambassadors here. Elliot's at the Internship and Career Center. And these are just the people that are in our webinar. There are so many other resources on campus that are here to help you out. So please visit their office, visit their resources, check out their websites. They have so much information on everybody's websites, their contact information, advising information, major checklist. There's so many good things going on these websites. So make sure you check those out. So I want to thank everybody for all the questions that came in on the Q&A. Unfortunately, we were not able to answer everything, but what I did do is if you look at the chat, I included Canvas where students can go, where they can find the proposed schedule that the major advisor created for them. Go onto Canvas, do that exercise, find the proposed schedule that your major advisor did and created for you, and that way you have an idea of what classes to register. Students will be able to register through this open registration period, which is from yesterday, Wednesday, all the way until Sunday at 6 p.m. So try to register for classes between this time. If you're not able to register for classes by 6 p.m. on Sunday, Pass 2 will begin on Monday, August 19th. Take a look at your Oasis. Oasis will tell you exactly when your Pass 2 time is, and that's when you'll be able to register for classes 2 as well. I also went ahead and put the contact information for the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences Dean's office if you need to contact us so we can answer these questions, or the information where you can locate your major department's website, so that if you need to contact your major advisor, you can go on there too as well. Any last minute thoughts, anything, recommendations from anybody on our panelist, anything?
On the note of units, you can also sign up for Aggie ambassadors for 1 or 2 units. So just putting it out there, another option if you all need units.
There you go. Be an Aggie ambassador, and y'all get to do a bunch of great things that are going to build that resume. And I met Jade a few times already, and I told Jade, you're going to have no problem getting a job once you graduate, because this girl is on it. Eric's on it. Like, they're doing their thing. It's because they're involved and they're learning all of these things. Okay. Somebody had a question. Actually, multiple questions came in about where we can find the Zoom link to this webinar. It's going to be located on the orientation webpage on the family section, the exact same place where everybody on here was able to sign up for the webinar and receive the link. That's exactly where you're going to find the link to this recording here. It might not be up there during this next week or so, but it should be up there hopefully within the next few weeks. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here today. Thank you so much to our panelists. We're going to be, closing this down now. So we hope that everybody has a great rest of their night, and please contact us if there's anything else that the student needs that you all need. We're here to help you out. Until next time, everybody, please take care. Bye, y'all.